Real life military. Most of the interviews that you see are between two people that maybe one of them you really care about and the other one's just a reporter. Like if you have like Oprah Winfrey or any like entertainer, but this one that I'm going to talk about today with Jordan Peterson and Elon Musk are two powerhouses. Both of them are widely respected within their esteemed job, and they're very, very different. But this interview was great and is what everyone should aspire to when they're just every day talking about real life issues. They talked about AI, their children growing up, and both of them lived totally different lives. And this is the kind of stuff that you should be watching. And I'll link this in the description. A great interview for sure. They talked about AI, and Jordan Peterson is a professor in psychology. So he was asking Elon, like, so AI, are you afraid of it? And the first thing Elon does is like, yes, you have to be cognizant of what could actually happen with AI. And he's like, great, that is awesome. And the whole conversation goes like this. And sitting down and having conversations about really interesting things and how life works is how you grow. And just to see these two guys talking about, he talked, he asked Elon like, how was it like, um, growing Tesla and SpaceX, and he was talking about, if you haven't heard about Elon's life, he's talking about how he hasn't owned a house, he didn't own a house for 10 years, and he would just couch surf or ask a friend from a place to stay with them, and he did that for years. And Elon looks at him. He's like, "It's a great way to stay close with your friends," and that's awesome. Like this is like one of the richest men in the world and one of the smartest men in the world, and he basically said that he was couch surfing for 10 years, and that's amazing. And Jordan Peterson has been married forever and has kids, and he lived a very different life. But they could sit down and talk about it, and he was just not grilling him, but asking him a bunch of AI, like um, how he's going to be responsible for it, and how he left companies. Like most people don't know, he helped open AI, and how he left it because he didn't like how like the way that it was going. So now he started his own, which he talks about with Gronk. He has 1.52, and then he says by the end of the year in December he'll have Gronk 3, and that's supposed to be the best AI in the world so far. And he even talks about how the basically the woke mind virus um, messed up one of his kids, and he actually got tricked from the culture. And this is one of the smartest men in the world, and one of the most successful men in the world. And he even got fed and like controlled a little bit by the media and the woke narrative, and they go back and forth on that. And if you don't know, Jordan Peterson basically almost got, yeah, I think they took away his professor title because he wasn't woke. So like it was a very, very interesting interview, and everyone should go and watch it for sure. It's on X. It's at Elon's place, and they talk about um, Tesla and SpaceX and AI a lot. But in your everyday, day to day with your friends and your families and people that you respect, like don't be afraid to have these real conversations about maybe touchy subjects. Because if not, then the only thing you're going to be talking about, which is crazy, is just like sports and what TV shows and what movies, and that's, at least to me, that's so fucking played out. And you don't learn as much as if you talk about real things, like how about, for example, how we are no longer on the oil standard, which is like one of the biggest things that's happened in 50 years, and nobody's talking about it. Like issues like this, there are real issues in the world that you need to understand. If not, then you're going to be like everybody else and just stuck in the mud. And that's where basically all the rich people, they don't want you there, but you're going to stay there because of that's what you know. And if you have the same old conversations with everybody that you have these like fake slow relationships with, I mean, it's great. Like I have a family and I'm married and it's amazing, but I also make sure I have a network of people that I can talk to about real situations, real things going on in my life to make my life better because I want to have more for not just myself but for my family. And you're not going to get it having these like horrible interviews that most people have about things that are already like staged. 100% nothing that these two talked about were staged at all. Every other interview, like with our last like sitting president, 100% all of it was staged. All of it was staged. It was all teleprompter, and you're going to ask these questions. And that's how most interviews are in the whole world. Almost every interview that you have ever listened to, they already knew the questions that were going to be asked. And it's just not real. It is a fake. It is a fake. Just, they're trying to push something. It's just propaganda, is all it is. They're pushing propaganda. And that's what most interviews are. So please, if you want to actually see a real one, hit this hit this in the description. I'll put it down there. And this is a real interview with two powerhouses, super intellectual dudes that can talk about real things without fear of saying something wrong to them because they understand that they both can take it because they're actually real men that can even take criticism and maybe even bad feedback. So try to get some of those people in your life because you need to hear the good and the bad and the ugly with everything and have real conversations.